Welcome, everyone, to Where to Find Small Business Loans. I'm Jerry Detweiler, Education Director for NAV.
And I'm Ty Kiesel, Content Director for NAV. I'm excited to be here today.
We're so glad to get to talk to you about this topic that's near and dear to both of our hearts. So we hope we can give you some useful information for you as a small business owner, as you're looking for financing. Now, many people I've talked to over the years, when I talk about a small business loan, their first thought is their bank. They want to get a small business loan from their bank. And that's great if you can. If you can get approved for a bank small business loan, you should. It will probably be excellent terms, good rates, no major surprises, and it will help move your business forward. However, it can be difficult. We know from lots of research from the Federal Reserve that many small business owners don't qualify. The average business loan approval rate at large banks is 62%. But my strong intuition from my years of experience in this field is that that's high. That's only those who actually make it to the application stage at a bank, because there are plenty of small business owners who never make it that far. So what we want to do today is give you the landscape so you can find the small business loan your business needs.
You know, Jerry, I've read statistics that are as low as 25%. So I think you're spot on. A lot of people just can't get financing from the bank. But fortunately, I think there are more options available today than ever before. And two of those options are online lenders and online marketplaces. Now, they're different. They're not the same. An online lender would be like an XYZ lender portal where you go in and you apply with the lender. A marketplace is someplace like NAV, where you come to NAV, you give us some information, and we match you to a lender that, based upon your criteria, is appropriate for your circumstance, someplace that we think you will be more likely to qualify. Now, some of the reasons that I'm really a fan of online lenders and online marketplaces is that it is quick decisioning and funding. If you go into a bank, for example, you may spend several weeks if some lenders may even take a month or more to come to a decision and get you funded. Whereas many online lenders can make the decision the same day that you apply, and you can have the funds in your bank account within 24 hours, if not a couple of days. So, it's super fast. So if you have an opportunity to generate additional cash flow with borrowed capital, an online lender is a great way to respond. Also, it's easier. The documentation required is less. The application is typically short. Often it's just a single page, and it's just much easier than going through the bank project. And there is no today. There used to be a time when the place you went was the bank. It was kind of the one-stop shop and a one-size-fits-all solution to your financing needs. That's not necessarily the case anymore. A lot of these online loans are designed for specific applications and specific business use cases, and they include anything from SBA loans online to merchant cash advance or business cash advance. So depending upon your business need, there is likely online a solution for you.
Yeah, absolutely. And there are a variety of ways you can use funding that you get online as well. So there are online loan options for working capital, for purchasing inventory, for purchasing or leasing equipment that you need, for refinancing your debt, for cash flow loans, etc. I've seen statistics there are as many as 6,500 different lenders marketing to small business owners. Now, you can't, as a small business owner, you're going to get easily overwhelmed if you try to do all that searching yourself. So this is one way to narrow your search, is by using a marketplace to help you find that loan.
Now, let me say this. They're not all created equally. If you're looking at an online lender, for example, look at their BBB profile, their Better Business Bureau profile. Look at their social media presence. Look at the review sites that are going to talk about them to make sure that it's a reputable lender, and make sure that they answer all of your questions about how much the financing is going to cost, because it isn't always expressed in an APR. Some online lenders use what's called a factor rate, and other online lenders will use an APR. But you need to make sure that you understand exactly what the costs are. And if they won't explain it to you, I would suggest you go to another lender. Online
Can I
market.
can I add a point to that, Ty?
Yeah, please do.
One popular article on the NAV blog is how to spot an online loan scam. And so I do want everyone to be careful about this. This is particularly important if you're finding that you can't qualify for financing through most sources. And then you're promised financing from an online lender who at very attractive terms that just pretty much sound too good to be true. These scams can operate in a couple of different ways. Sometimes they put up very reputable looking websites. They may use the name of a reputable lender when they call people to try to offer them loans. And the two things they may be trying to do, one is to steal information so they can get access to the borrower's bank account or other information, to steal the identity of that individual or the business. And the other, which is pretty common, is they'll approve you for the loan. And then they'll say, well, we need to get the first 3 months payments upfront to, just to show good faith, or we need an insurance payment for the loan upfront. And then they'll ask you to get that money, usually on a prepaid card. Like, go down to your local drugstore and get a prepaid card, maybe even an iTunes card. I've seen people get ripped off that way, and send it to us, or give us the information from the back of the card. And that's how we're going to approve this loan. So do make sure that you are dealing with a reputable lender. Make sure it's a secure website. You can always look up the registration for a website to see how long they've been around. And you, as Ty mentioned, you can look for complaints, but make sure you're dealing with a legitimate website so you aren't ripped off.
The nice thing that the benefit of being in 2021 is that online lenders have been around for quite a while now. Some lenders have been around for as long as 10 or 12 years. So it's not like you're dealing with a brand new lender. And it's really important that you work with a reputable lender. If it sounds too good to be true, it probably is. And if that spidey sense you get, that tingling in the back of your neck, that something just doesn't feel right, it probably isn't right. So, make sure you do all of the investigating. And, online marketplaces aren't all the same either. I'm going to, at the risk of sounding like this is a sales pitch, I'm going to compare what we do at NAV to what you might see. Marketplaces like NAV show you multiple options from several different lenders, and it's all in one place. One thing NAV does not do is sell your information to someone else. Some online marketplaces, that's a revenue stream for them. They sell your information, and the week or a few days after you make your application at that marketplace, you'll be inundated with phone calls and emails because you've raised your hand and said, I'm looking for financing. And now everybody in your next door neighbor is trying to reach out to you to give you a loan. We don't do that. And so you want to make sure that that you go to a reputable marketplace as well. And I like the marketplace idea because instead of being stuck with the qualification criteria of a particular lender, you're going to share your information with the marketplace, and then they're going to match you to someone who potentially would accept your loan application, whether it's a SBA lender or a different kind of lender.
So, another way to look for financing for your business, and this is a favorite of both Ty and mine, is vendor credit. So, this is where you get suppliers or vendors that have things that you need to buy for your business, and you let them, you ask them to let you pay for them later. So, you get it now, you pay for it later. And so, this can improve your cash flow because it lets you get those things that you need, then sell your product or deliver the service and get paid out of your cash flow, pay them out of your cash flow. Often these arrangements are either very low interest or maybe even no interest as long as you pay the invoice on time. And this can also help to establish your business credit history if that company reports to business credit. And it can be very easy to qualify because they want to do business with you. So this is another place that you may not be thinking of looking for credit that could be valuable for your business.
I think that business credit is one of the most misunderstood credit vehicles available to small businesses. You know, payment terms is not a small business loan, but it's 30, 45, 60 days that you can use your vendor's cash at usually a 0% interest rate as long as you pay everything up front. Some of the reasons that I like it is because you can use the same money that you would normally pay cash for inventory for other things that you can't use borrowed capital for, that you have to use cash for. But for purchasing inventory, purchasing the supplies your business already uses, that's another great use for this type of credit. And you will find that these are some of the most friendly creditors you will ever have, because they want you to be as successful almost as much as you do. And so if you have a good relationship and you're paying your invoices on time, these will be great creditors that will be better than any others that you may have.
Yes, and there's a few places you can look for this type of financing. One is your existing suppliers. So you can ask them, can I fill out a credit application? Can I get net? It's usually called net terms. Net 30 terms would mean you have 30 days after the invoice date to pay that bill. Net 15, you might start out with net 15 terms, work your way up to net 30. In some cases, you can go up to net 60, 90, or 120 days, depending on your relationship that you've built up with that vendor supplier and their ability to, finance your purchases. Another place to get started is go to the NAV website, go to nav.com/vendors, and we have an article there that we update frequently that lists easy net 30 vendors. So vendors that are usually startup friendly, they don't typically check personal credit of the owner, they don't care about personal credit. They report to business credit agencies, help you build business credit. And that can be it's a popular resource on the NAV website. It's also popular in terms of helping your business get financing. In addition, we do have a separate entire program about vendor credit, so you can certainly watch another more in-depth webinar on that topic.
You know, small local banks are wonderful resources for small businesses. If I could wave a magic wand and make the perfect financial relationship for a small business owner, it would be at a community bank. When I was a small business owner, my banker was incredible. I never met at the bank. He would always come to us, and it was just a wonderful experience. I can't say enough good about it. And according to Federal Reserve data, these bankers usually offer higher approval rates than the large banks because they're in the community. Your business, they're familiar with it. They understand what the business dynamic is in the business district in your community. It's a great place to go. I would totally recommend building a relationship with a small local bank. Now, that doesn't mean that you're guaranteed that you're going to get a loan there. However, the odds are greater there than at a big bank. You're going to need to focus on building a relationship. You know, some of these bankers are really good at this, others are not. So you need to be in the driver's seat, spend some time making friends with your banker, And just remember that the options that they have available are a little more limited than some that we've already spoken about. And it does take longer to get approval because it's going to go through a committee. Your loan application will go through a loan committee, but it's a great option. And everything we've talked about so far are not necessarily need to be considered as standalone options, because they all can work together to get you the financing you need to fuel growth in your business.
Yes, that's right. You could have, for example, a small business line of credit through your local bank, and then you could establish terms with your vendors. And then, if you have a quick cash need where you don't have time to get the loan from the bank, you could go to an online lender. So, Ty is exactly right. You can often put these together to meet your needs. When it comes to banks or credit unions that make small business loans, there may be term loans, which are fixed loans for fixed amount of money. So you have a specific project, you need X amount of dollars, you know exactly how long it will take you to pay it back and what the cost will be each month. That's a term loan. Lines of credit, love, love, love lines of credit because they're there when you need them. So your business credit card is an example of a line of credit, but you can also get lines of credit with online lenders, banks, or credit unions, and that gives you money you can tap for short-term needs when your business needs it for cash flow purposes. And then SBA loans. SBA loans are not typically made by the SBA, with the exception of disaster loans, but instead they're guaranteed by the SBA and they're made through participating lenders, which are often banks. So you'll go to the bank to apply for the SBA loan. The SBA will help guarantee that loan. And if an SBA loan isn't a good fit, the bank may have another commercial lending product that might be a good fit for you.
So get started. Check out our webinars if you're looking for more information. We have lots of great topics that we discuss here that dive into the details of some of the loan products we've mentioned today. Check out your NAV profile. Go to NAV and see what's available to you. It costs you nothing, and you may be surprised at just how financeable your business is, because there are more options available to you today than ever before. I hope that this information has been valuable to you, and we really appreciate you tuning in.
Yeah, I want to give you one more tip. With your NAV account, answer the questions to fill out your profile. That's going to help you get the best matches. So, we're gathering that information for very specific reasons. For example, we may ask you to link your bank account or at least tell us your annual revenues. Why? Because some lenders have minimum annual revenue requirements. And if we don't know that information, we won't be able to match you to as many offers, with confidence. So we want to get that information to help match you to lenders that are looking to do business with borrowers like you. And like Ty said, we really hope you found this helpful. We hope you check out our other financing webinars and videos, and feel free to ask questions in the future. We're always happy to help. Thanks for joining us today.